FFA chapter. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they're at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
Station by the door.
Your duties there.
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands, and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the Emblem of Washington.
Your duties there.
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements to Washington and kept his farm accounts carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I am asked to advise you from time to time as a need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based off of true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow by your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, who's placed beneath the rising sun.
Why is the President so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are 7 members and multiple guests present, Mr. President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this meeting of the Streator FFA chapter duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. The floor is now open for new business.
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Vice President.
I move the Streator FFA chapter hosts a recycling program on the last Saturday of each month in the school shop.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that the Streator FFA chapter host a recycling program on the last Saturday of each month in the school shop. This motion has been seconded, is debatable, is amendable, and requires a majority vote to pass. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Vice President, since you made the motion, you have first right to discuss.
As the maker of this motion, I believe that it'd be great for our chapter. We could keep trash out of the world and make the earth cleaner. I think this is a great idea, and please help me in passing this motion.
Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Treasurer.
I also agree with this motion. I think it is a great idea. We could even put it on our chapter awards, specifically in the strengthening agricultural area. I also believe that this will keep our planet cleaner and healthier. I urge this assembly to allow this motion to pass.
Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Secretary.
I'm in opposition with this motion because truthfully, who has that much recycling that it will really even be worth it to recycle all of this once a month? Will it just be a waste of time for our chapter? I would like this assembly to join me in not passing this motion.
Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Advisor.
I would strongly agree with this motion, stating that the fact that there is plenty of recycling to go around the world, it would be truly helpful if we would be able to clean it up as a whole, and it would also be bringing us all together as a community and cleaning up our lovely home and town. I would strongly encourage you guys to all vote yes.
Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Reporter,
I'm completely opposed to this motion, seeing as Saturdays and Sundays are usually very busy for a lot of people. So how do we manage to get enough people to do this recycling program? So I say vote no to this motion.
is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Sentinel,
I also rise in opposition of this motion. I believe that there would not be enough people to come around and help us out. We might have a hard time gathering people for this too, being that it is on a Saturday. I strongly encourage this assembly to vote no.
is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Vice President,
I move that the assembly takes a 5-minute recess.
Second.
it has been properly moved and seconded that the Assembly take a 5-minute recess. This motion has been seconded, is not debatable, is amendable, and requires a majority vote to pass. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
The nays have it. The Assembly will not take a 5-minute recess. We will now return to the main motion of the Streator FFA chapter hosting a recycling program on the last Saturday of each month in the school shop. Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Reporter,
I rise to a question of parliamentary inquiry.
state your inquiry.
Does a main motion require a 2/3 vote?
No, a main motion does not require a 2/3 vote. It requires a majority vote.
Thank you.
We will now return to the main motion of the Streator FFA chapter hosting a recycling program on the last Saturday of each month in the school shop. Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Secretary,
I still rise in opposition of this motion. I am still just not quite convinced that we would have enough people to make this a successful event for our chapter. This assembly really should help me in not passing this motion.
is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Sentinel,
I still rise in opposition of this motion. I believe that on Saturdays, a lot of people will be busy, and as I have said before, there will not be enough people for us to gather to help out with this. I strongly, again, encourage this assembly to vote no.
is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Treasurer,
after weighing the pros and cons of this motion, I think that is a great idea. We can help everybody out in the community so much. This assembly should pass this motion.
is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Advisor,
I move to amend the main motion by striking out Saturday and inserting Monday.
Second.
it has been properly moved and seconded that we amend the main motion by striking out Saturday and inserting Monday so that the motion now reads, the Streator FFA chapter hosts a recycling program on the last Monday of each month in the school shop. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Advisor,
I would strongly agree with this, given the fact that as most people are busy on Saturdays, it would be so much easier if we can host this on a Monday, maybe even after school or after other members of our community are done with their work. So I would strongly encourage the assembly to vote yes.
is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Sentinel,
I rise in agreement to this motion. I believe that if we had this Monday after school, we would have a lot more people to gather for this, and a lot more people will be willing to help out, being that they won't be as busy as they would be on a Saturday. I strongly encourage this assembly to pass this motion.
is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Vice President,
I'm rising in opposition of this motion. There is a lot of things that happen for people on Mondays after school. Lots of children are in sports events which they have practice for. I don't think there would be enough time for this, so I encourage this assembly to vote no and not pass this motion.
are you ready for the question? The question is, should we amend the main motion by striking out Saturday and inserting Monday, so that the motion now reads, the Streator FFA chapter hosts a recycling program on the last Monday of each month in the school shop? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it. The motion will be amended. We will now return to the main motion of the Streator FFA chapter hosting a recycling program on the last Monday of each month in the school shop. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Reporter.
I completely agree with this motion. Seeing as we would have so much more time to have a recycling program and really clean up the earth. So please vote yes to this motion.
Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Secretary.
I move to postpone the motion on the table, definitely, with a special order for 4 p.m. at our next meeting.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we postpone the motion on the table definitely and make it a special order for 4 p.m. at our next meeting. This motion has been seconded, is debatable, is amendable, and requires a 2/3 vote to pass. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Secretary.
seeing that I did make this motion, I believe that it would be a great idea. By having this for a special order at our next meeting, we would be allowed to go home, think about this, and at our next meeting it would be at the top of our agenda to talk about and vote on right away. I believe that this would greatly impact our chapter, and this assembly should join me in passing this motion.
Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Madam Sentinel.
I also agree with this motion, being as we can take time off and really think about this and then come back and vote right away. I strongly encourage the Assembly to pass this motion.
Are you ready for the question? The question is, should we postpone the motion on the table definitely and make it a special order for 4 p.m. at our next meeting? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it with a 2/3 majority. The motion on the table will be postponed definitely. Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business that should now be transacted?
I have none, Mr. President.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business that should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this meeting of the Streator FFA chapter. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this meeting adjourned.
All right, guys, congratulations on advancing to the state level. You've done Streator very well today. So I'm going to go through and do all of the oral questions. So we're going to start with the president.
Yes, ma'am.
If the entire agenda is completed at a meeting, can the chair adjourn the meeting without a motion and a vote?
The chair cannot adjourn the meeting without a vote.
Can you explain your answer?
To adjourn the meeting, I would think that all members, or at least a majority of the members, would have to agree to stop the meeting, even if somebody might have another order of business that they could still bring up.
Okay, thank you very much. And then your second question. What does non-biased mean as it pertains to your job as chair?
Non-biased, I would interpret as the chair not favoring either side of an affirmative or negative vote on a motion.
Thank you very much. Let's turn to the vice president.
Yes, ma'am.
If the motion recess passes, what happens to the meeting?
If the motion recess passes, the assembly will take a recess for however long the recess was made for.
And what happens if the motion to recess fails, what happens to the meeting?
The assembly will not take a recess and they will go back to their motion as it was happening.
Okay. The Sentinel.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the purpose of the subsidiary motion to postpone to a certain time?
The purpose to postpone to a certain time would be to give our assembly time to think about our vote and whether or not we would like to pass the vote.
Okay. And how long can a motion be postponed if a chapter holds regular business meetings every week on the same day?
It would be can you repeat the question?
I can, yeah. How long can a motion be postponed if a chapter holds regular business meetings every week on the same day?
it can be postponed until the end of the quarter.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see, we have the treasurer next.
Yes.
What is a secondary amendment?
A secondary amendment is an amendment that is made to the first amendment, also known as the primary amendment.
Okay, and can you amend a secondary amendment?
Yes, you can amend a secondary amendment.
Okay, thank you very much. Hey, Madam Secretary,
Yes, ma'am.
what are the duties and responsibilities of the secretary regarding the agenda for chapter meetings as listed on the official FFA manual?
My duties required for that. Can you please repeat the
I
question?
can, yeah. What are the duties and responsibilities of a secretary regarding the agenda for chapter meetings as it's listed on the FFA official manual?
My duties for the agenda are to present and post it for every meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. The reporter.
Yes, ma'am.
Is a parliamentary inquiry out of order when another member has the floor?
No, it is not out of order.
Why is no vote required to adopt the parliamentary inquiry?
No vote is required because it is just asking a question about parliamentary law, so there's no need for a vote to be obtained.
Thank you. And the advisor.
Yes, ma'am.
Name 2 of the 3 additional officers the chapter might elect according to the FFA official manual.
The chapter might elect the historian and the chaplain.
Thank you very much. Guys, congratulations. Feel free to leave your name tags at your stations. Best of luck in the competition.